Right. I gotta record my phone call. It's people be lying on me saying I said stuff that I did not say. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was 16 years old when I met a girl at Inslee High School in Birmingham, Alabama, and they said her name was April Williams, and the birth certificate says April 30th, 1986. Mm-hmm. And those do look like different girls in those pictures. Mm-hmm. Yes, they said their name was April Williams. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure who those other people is that said that they were her family or they had sex with her or they were saying that they're the baby daddy and stuff like that. It seems like it was different girls saying their name was April Williams. Maybe since some of them look alike, maybe they thought it was the same girl the same way that I did. Mm-hmm. Yes, I have a marriage license with the date of April 30th, 2004. So when I was told that a girl's name was April Williams, and they said that I had sex with her, and they said that I had children with her, I did it for the right reasons. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said that it was different people saying that they had sex with her, and it was different people saying that they got her pregnant, and it was different people acting like they wanted to fight me, and it was different people talking about killing me for her or her sex and stuff like that, and for her children and stuff like that. And it sounds real crazy. Mm-hmm. Did I see any of those people that said their name was April Williams? Well, when I met her, I was 16 years old and she was 14, is what I was told, with the birthday of April 30th, 1986. So they said I'm not a sex offender and I wasn't doing anything wrong because since I have a marriage license with the date of April 30th, 2004, I was told getting married is not a crime and not wrong, especially if she's 18 years old. And I did not force her into a marriage, and I did not force her into a pregnancy. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. What did she say to me? The person that said her name was April Williams at different times. Okay, when I met her, I was 16 years old, And they said I was in a car accident in 1996. I'm recording this phone call, so it'll be a video. And I'm in a disability chair, and I was abused a lot. And I was 16 years old, and they said that I would get $10,000 when I was 19. And I used the money that I got when I was 19 and got a marriage license for my marriage. And since I was 18 years old, I don't know how income taxes and stuff work, but it was supposed to be some tax forms or income tax records with my social security number and stuff showing that I tried working since I was 18 years old whenever I could, but I wasn't able to work a lot because, you know, somebody abused me, and it was something about a car accident and stuff like that, and they did stuff to my body and stuff that, and, you know, ever since like I was 5 years old, you know, being abused and molested, and they said I was the youngest of what they called a family. And my birth certificate says March 4th, 1984, and a person that they said name is Yolanda Johnson, you know, stuff like that is what my birth certificate say, that I was the youngest of what they called the family, and I was abused and stuff like that. And they took me to like different doctors. One of them was called Western Mental Health, and they would give me like this blue pill called Adderall and a pill called Ritalin and Risperdal and stuff. And they said those were bad drugs, and it might did like brain damage and stuff because they had to stop giving people those drugs. And they said it was a drug store, so it was like they did drug abuse to me. So it's not something that once a person gets in trouble and then you try to make up an excuse for why it happened. No, no. They was doing this stuff to me before anybody ever even tried to say bad stuff about me. So I was the one that they did bad stuff to. Mm-hmm. A lot. Those other people that said they were a family. Mm-hmm. Oh, what did she say to me? The person that said their name was April Williams. Well, the pictures, it looked like it was different people that said that. Oh, you know? So it does look like it was different people. But what did they say to me? The people that said their name was April Williams. Um, from the beginning. Well, when I met her, you know, it was at a school, and it's crazy because since it seemed like different people, like I don't know which, I'm not sure which one it was, but okay. I'm not sure which one it was, but okay, this is what I'm trying to say. Like when I met her at school, the girl that I met at school, I'm not sure if it was the same girl that when I went to her house. Mm-hmm. So she said she was my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't have a marriage license at first. When you first meet somebody, you don't have a marriage license. Yeah. So when she said she was my girlfriend, and then she wanted to be married to me, or she wanted me to marry her, or she wanted us being married. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because this what the problem seemed to be. You know, the confusion. See, like, I know what I'm saying. Yeah, but this is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, somebody said that it's a spiritual marriage, and then somebody said the marriage license is the evidence of a marriage. But some of the people said the girl that said it's a spiritual marriage, it seems like it may be a different girl that said the marriage license date and stuff like that. And yeah, she said her name was April Williams. Yeah, if it was more than one person, but they all told me their name was April Williams, and they all said it was my wife. One of them said something about it's Islam in it. Mm-hmm. But somebody else told me that even if they said it was Islam, that it was the wrong kind of Islam because another man was trying to have sex with one of them. So they said that if those girls said that their name was April Williams and they said it was Islam, the problem is not Islam. The problem is that another man tried to be the husband and wanted to have sex and children with the same girl that I was with. And if it was more than one girl, it was another man trying to have sex with them. And so they're like, it's the wrong kind of Islam. And it's because of the other man. Mm-hmm. Because they say you're not supposed to have two husbands. Mm-hmm. So they said it was the wrong kind of Islam. And they said the other man, or the dude that was trying to say he the baby daddy or trying to say that he had sex with her, whichever one of the April Williams it was, or all of them, they say the other man and the other person that was trying to have sex with her or them is the problem because since it can't be two husbands and stuff like that, because it would be the wrong kind of Islam that I didn't make the problem. The other, whoever the other person is, did. Somebody wanted to have sex with them, and the girls was using the name April Williams, and they said they was my wife, but somebody else wanted to fight and wanted murdering and violence and stuff. Not me. And they said he was trying to be a pimp because he wanted the girls to have sex with different men and different people and sometimes even other girls for money, and that he was trying to be a preacher and a pimp and he was trying to have his own religion, and that he told them to say that their name was April Williams, and that it's not my fault if they listened to him and they did what he said. And they said it was other girls that told them to do it too, or women or ladies, because they wanted money and wanted to be part of what the other guy had going on. But they wanted to say they was my wife and they wanted to have sex with me and they wanted to say their name was April Williams, and you can't do both at the same time. And you can't do it, is what I told them. But one of the people told me that when she would go to school, sometimes it'd be a different person when I would take her to school. That when I came to pick her up from school, they said it would be a different person, is what they think happened. And when she would want to go to work, they said sometimes when I would take her to work, it would be a different person that would come back from work, because it would be somebody there waiting to take her place or to switch places with her, and they would put on the same clothes, and they would be like, "Hey, Brandon, did you have a nice day?" And then, it wouldn't be the same girl, and it's because she was listening to some other man or some other person or some other family, and they said you can just call it Islam, but it was like, that's the wrong kind of Islam, because you're not supposed to have sex with more than one person if you're somebody's wife. It's the way I was taught. hmm And you're not supposed to be a prostitute, and you're not supposed to let someone pimp you. No one is supposed to be pimping anybody. hmm So they said it's the person that was being a pimp's fault. I was never a pimp. hmm I never told any girl to be a prostitute or any person, and I was never any person's pimp. Mm-mm. Any girl that was a prostitute that I ever was around was already a prostitute before I met them. Or any person that was a pimp or had a pimp when I met them was already that way. And it was someone else's idea, not mine. Mm-mm. I never told a person to work for me at all. And the girl that said her name was April Williams, and the girl that said she was my wife, even if it was different people, because it seems like it was, I never told any of them to work or go to school. Mm-mm. Because when I met April Williams, I already had what they call a high school equivalency GED certificate. And since it was about being married for me, and I have a marriage license that says April 30th, 2004, I thought that she didn't need to go to school, because if her job was being my wife, only I can teach her how being my wife is. And so she wouldn't need to go to school anymore. So I don't know why she would go to school or go to tutoring or do any of that stuff, after she met me. Because if her job was being my wife, only I could tell her how being my wife is. hmm And since I had my own money in a trust fund since 1996, they say I was in a car accident, and I would have money when I was 19. It was for the right reasons, because when I was 19, mhm, I used the money and made plans for a marriage. And the first chance that I got, when they said she was 18, I got a marriage license in 2004, April 30th, 2004. The first day that she was 18 years old, because her birth certificate says April 30th, 1986. So I was there for the right reasons. And I still have a marriage license. And mhm, yeah, they said that one of the people said that they was a pimp, and that it was a boy and a girl. They said it was males trying to be pimps, and it was females trying to be pimps. And that some of those girls that said their name was April Williams, some of those girls, they said that they would tell the girls to start a fight with me and make an excuse to leave, so that the other girl could come in, and so that the other girl can go have sex with somebody else. And they wanted her being a prostitute and stuff. And so that she would start fights and stuff with me. so that she could leave and go with her pimp. And they said sometimes it was a woman or a man or people that they said was their family, and that she would be starting fights and stuff and arguments and making an excuse to storm out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they said that she know that she was doing that stuff, and that's why, like, whenever that stuff would happen, she would say that I didn't do anything wrong. They said she was scared of the person that her pimp was. Yeah, they said something about being a gang or a group of bad people that she met before she met me. And I'm not sure if she is my wife or not, or which one did that, because they said all of the girls didn't do this stuff, because one of the girls that said her name was April Williams and said she was my wife, she said she only had sex with me. Mm-hmm. And that she didn't want to be a prostitute. Mm-hmm. And one of the girls that said their name was April Williams, and she said she was my wife, she kept acting like she was some dude named TJ girlfriend. Or one of them was acting like she was with some dude named Jamel or Jamil, and she was his girlfriend. I'm not sure. And one of the girls that said her name was April Williams said that, that she only had sex and did stuff with me. But all of the girls that said their name was April Williams said that they did sex stuff with other people before they got with me, and some of them said that it was sex stuff that they did with other people after they got with me. And the other people said that they had sex with them and got them pregnant, and they said that they had sex with my wife. So I'm not sure who's telling the truth. Mm-hmm. And some of the other people said that they was the baby daddy and that it was their child and stuff, and that I'm not supposed to steal anyone's child. So they told me to stay out of it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she told me, I don't know which one it was, but they told me that I could do sex stuff with other people, and I never felt right about it, so I was never able to go all the way, so I just didn't do it. I would just say I have a marriage license, and it feels like it would be wrong to do that kind of stuff to my wife. Yeah, I did stuff, but I just never went all the way. And I never tried to have sex with children. I never even called the children on the phone asking them for sex. Mm-mm. Or even talking about sex. Mm-mm. No phone calls. Mm-mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the girls that said her name was April Woods and said she was my wife, she sent text messages and emails to people online or whatever, and she was the one that pressed the button, like the send button on all of the messages. So if anyone said that I sent them messages, one of the girls that said her name was April Williams and she said she was my wife, she knows about the messages because she was the one that pressed the send button, because a lot of times I said I didn't want to do it because, what if they think it's weird? And she said it would make them feel good just to hear someone telling them that somebody would marry them and that they didn't have to be a single mom. Mm-hmm. So she knows about the messages because she was there with me. And she said her name was April Williams. Mm-hmm. And she said she was my wife. And she said I didn't do wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. And when she told me to go places with other people, she said because she didn't want me to feel like she tried to have a lot of sex and do stuff with people,